What's going on, guys? My name is Ro and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're going to be going with a little bit of a vlog here, just a little bit of an update. It's been a while since I've done one of these, so figured I'd kind of go over what's changed with the channel in the past year, what changes more specifically have come in the past few months, pretty much since the start of this year, as well as changes that are upcoming. I have a few topics, quite a few topics. I will try and get through them as quickly as possible, make this nice and quote unquote short. First off, obviously, Vectro 10 released as part of New Year's Day 2024. Now, most people know this update, came with new logo, a completely different approach for the logo. It's no longer pretty much on the same platform, as I'd like to call it. Basically, with older logos, version 6, version 7, version 8, version 9, they were all built upon other former designs. So 7 was based on 6, 8 was based on 7, 9 was based on 8, usually borrowing elements or just kind of altering elements here and there. And so eventually I called this the Flominel design platform. Flominel, the Fox logo that was last seen in version 9, was a big part of my designs. It was a big part of my channel and kind of just my brand as Vectro. I wanted, Vectro 10 to be a really big update. I wanted it to really just narrow down what I really wanted in a design and find something completely new that had pretty much the bare minimum of the best that I have done, the absolute best. For the most part, it's a completely different design, as we've seen. There's just some minor similarities between it and any prior design that I have done. Now, in order to accomplish this, I essentially came up with this idea where I would take Flominel and remove it completely. So Flominel, retired at the end of 2023. It just lives on as a Discord bot now. That's it. So, no mascot or anything like that this time around. We've got the Vectro lettering and that is it. This design, I wanted it to be big, not just because it's the 10th generation essentially of my designs, but it also celebrates the upcoming 10-year anniversary of my YouTube channel, which is a crazy thing to think about. I was, 20 years old, fresh college dropout, couldn't find a job living in Seattle because nobody was hiring, just because the way the minimum wage was like McDonald's, for fuck's sake, was not hiring anyone that wasn't in college or had a college degree, which is insane to think about, but that was the reality. I started YouTube back in 2014, November 27th. I think is the official date that YouTube lists, even though it's actually wrong by 3 days, but that's not the point. And so, yeah, Vectro 10 was supposed to be kind of a, just celebrating that, as well as, 10 generations of designs under the Vectro name. So part of this big update was actually not about the graphic design. It was more focused on the YouTube side. Obviously, we had, new animations, as they always, come every year. New animations on the channel, both for, Badfellas and for the Vectro brand as well. But I also wanted to do something a little bit different. So I decided to kind of go back to my roots a little bit and hone in specifically on the police role play that I started doing from the very beginning. Right? So I started the YouTube channel featuring LCPDFR, right? GTA 4, police roleplay, the very old, unstable days. So just a brief history of San Andreas law before I move on entirely. Season 1 started back in 2016. A lot had happened in 2016. I ended up, getting my first job for Five Guys. I decided that, I wanted to, instead of have just an LSPDFR series like everybody else had, I wanted something specific to me, something unique, a different approach. And so that's what I did. San Andreas Law was just, it started off in 2016 as a LSPDFR series. And then that went on for 5 episodes, I think, throughout like 2018. It was at that point that I had decided to change things and go into more like a season approach, kind of like a TV show, where there's like 25, 30 episodes, something like that per season. There'd be a break, then new season, new changes, things like that. Seemed pretty straightforward. During season 1, there were 3 main intro songs that were used. The first one being Heart of Fire by Def Quap, featuring Skrillex. There was also Back from the Dead, and there was Blood in the Water. All great songs. Heart of Fire was kind of like one of the big things about San Andreas Law was it became the signature intro song. So that being said, season 2, I brought it back. Heart of Fire, back in 2019. Season went on for 25 episodes up through like 2020, early 2020. Partway through, I think it was somewhere around the mid-season, there was a change. I changed the intro song over to Good World Gone Bad by Splasher, and that became, in a way, a signature sound for San Andreas Law. In season 3, which only featured 13 episodes, I used, Good World Gone Bad. I had made my own kind of changes to the song. But overall, still the same song. It was the intro and the outro, just like a different version of it that I did, where I basically took out, I think it's just like the instruments specifically and the vocals. So it's just the bass and the drums, and that is it. Just nice, simple, clean outro. That happened with season 3. Now, the reason it had only 13 episodes was during the mid-season break, which was planned, GTA 5 was updated. Not planned. Also not planned was LSPDFR not being updated for over 8 months. So I eventually just gave up. I would try here and there throughout the past 3 years to try and get San Andreas Law going again, but it would never come close to the point where I could record. As in, like, the first attempt, LSPDFR itself just was not working, even with an update. It just was not working. It was a very broken thing. So, I announced the cancellation. I played it off like I wasn't even going to bother entertaining the idea of San Andreas Law coming back. Little do you all know that I have been working on it for 3 years. I have been coming up with a plan. I've been coming up with a planning board. And so there's going to be a lot of things in San Andreas Law's season 4 that, yes, there's going to be familiarity. There's going to be some characters you will remember. And then there's going to be some new things. There's new approaches, things like that. So before I dive into that, I also want to talk about the sister series of the San Andreas Law series called San Andreas Life. What started as a combination of San Andreas Wanted, where I was running from the cops, as well as San Andreas Drive, which was when I was like kind of just driving around vlogging essentially. San Andreas Life became everything San Andreas Law wasn't. There were a lot of plans in the works for it for the longest time to include like 5M content. That never really panned out because by the time I decided like I was ready to do that, the server that I was part of just kind of died, just ceased. So I never really was able to introduce that aspect of it into the series. San Andreas Life, I mean, it's been going on for years. I want to say since 2020-ish. Best guess. I haven't actually looked into that, but it's been going for a long time. But the problem with it is there are very few episodes, very few videos coming out that are San Andreas Life. My plan is still to change it. It will return in the fairly near future. I can't really give any further details on that or how I'm going to approach it, but I will say that I want to take a different approach on this one as well. Not talking about like seasons, because that's kind of a hard thing to do with this kind of series, where it's just kind of sporadic. Just know that there is going to be more San Andreas Life at some point, hopefully by June, is the best guess I can give. We are working on something that would be very beneficial to that series specifically, but as of right now, I can't really give like a proper date or plan on this one. So yeah, that does it for San Andreas Life. On to San Andreas Law, Season 4, which is being dubbed San Andreas Law, but the A is a 4 because I'm so fucking clever. So, Kicking things off with San Andreas Laws Season 4. The series is finally returning, right? Big news. It was announced, last Sunday as of this recording, March 31st, 2024. Some people probably took that as an April Fool's joke, if I'm being honest. It was in fact not an April Fool's joke, despite its timing. After almost 3.5 years of being absent from the channel, San Andreas Law is back. April 14, 2024 will be the premiere date of the first episode. I will warn you that the first episode may be a bit shorter than you're used to. It is shorter than I'm used to, and I'm not entirely happy with it. It's only about a half hour long once you take out like the outro, intro, all that. Even then, a lot of that video, there's like a fair chunk of that that's going over like, we're back, here's what's new, here's what's different, pretty much explaining what I'm about to explain in this. So I will keep it short here since I didn't keep it short there. Essentially, this new season is going to feature all 6 characters from season 3, right? So we have San Andreas State Police. We have One King 14, which is my character. He's staying put, sergeant, all that jazz. Wonderful. Fine, whatever. Moving on. We also have Kate Andrews, who is now with the San Andreas State Police instead of being a Blaine County sheriff. So her new call sign is One Queen 19, and she is a lieutenant. So under my character in this situation, she will have full access to the map. She is not locked down to Blaine County anymore, which is funny because when you first see her, she is in Blaine County. We also have Officer Edward Hamilton. He's an officer P3 with the LSPD. He's staying perfectly fine where he is. Trooper Chase Moore with the San Andreas State Police's Highway Patrol Division. Yep, he's still kicking. So that's good. We also have Charles Brixton. He was the deputy for the Blaine County Sheriff Office. That is still the same. So yeah, I feel like there was one more character. Oh yeah, Jack Richards, sheriff with the LSSD. That's still the same. So get ready for that. But on top of these 6 characters, I'm also introducing 4 new characters. So there is going to be a new sheriff for Blaine County Sheriff Office. There is going to be a new deputy for the Los Santos Sheriff Department. There is going to be a new P2 officer for the LSPD. And there is going to be a new trooper. There is at least one more new character that'll be introduced later on once somebody dies. I will not say who or when. So have fun with that. Can't spoil anything else. As far as vehicles go in the series, I love my Chargers. It's pretty obvious because I bought a Charger in real life. It's pretty fucking obvious that I like Chargers. Yeah. So, drifting Charger scene in every intro, still a thing, as you probably saw if you saw that title sequence. As far as vehicles go, obviously we have our Chargers. I'm just going to go through the quick list here. LSPD has 3 vehicles. They have a 2024 Ford Taurus, 2018 Dodge Charger, 2020 Dodge Durango. San Andreas State Police, their fleet gets used for everyone else. So Highway Patrol, Blaine County Sheriff Office, Los Santos Sheriff Department. So they have 4 marked vehicles. We have the 2024 Ford Taurus, the 2018 Dodge Charger, the 2020 Dodge Durango, and the 2018 Ford F-350 Super Duty. These vehicles might change because there's some issues with just about all of them. Specifically looking at the Durango and the Charger, actually. Actually, I think the Super Duty is pretty much okay. And the Ford Taurus, honestly, is not that bad. Besides that, obviously, we have the same unmarked vehicle pack that I used before 3.5 years ago. So, the same pack that has the unmarked Chrysler 300, the same pack that has the unmarked Subaru WRX, which Kate Andrews still has. It has over 30 unmarked vehicles in all sorts of variants, from coupes, sedans, trucks, SUVs, vans, Honda Odyssey included. So, there's a lot of options there, and you will see them pop up more often than you would think. To put it lightly, when one of my character's vehicles gets destroyed during a call out or like a chase or something, it's probably getting replaced with something from that pack. And that happens every single recording session. Which moves me on to the second part. So we're going to take a slightly different approach. Every episode is now going to feature 2 characters. Usually it's going to be from different agencies, and it's almost definitely going to be from different parts of San Andreas. So if I have somebody in Los Santos, I'm going to have somebody up in Sandy Shores for the other part of the episode. And it's going to ping pong back and forth. So it's not like first half is LSPD, second half is SASP. It's going to be like, this call out's done, let's check in on this person. That call out's done, let's check it back in with this person. So it's going to be like a little bit of variety in there, which is nice. Speaking of which, there's also going to be some diversification. I realize that all of my former characters are all white, and there's one female. I'm going to fix this. I already have fixed it, by the way. There's more. There's more options here. So yeah, with 2 characters being featured per episode, as you would imagine, and I'm going completely off my notes now, each recording session is about 2 hours long for about a half hour of footage that's usable, because fluff. A lot of fluff. Writing up arrest reports. Searching vehicles only to find out there's nothing in there except a used fleshlight. You heard me. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of fluff. So that being said, to account for that, every recording is about 2 hours long. That's the goal. Bare minimum an hour and a half. But yeah, mainly aiming at 2 hours. Sometimes longer, which is really taking a toll on my sleep schedule. That being said, each episode is 4 hours of recordings. So as you can imagine, this takes up a lot of space, a lot of planning, a lot of deleting after I'm done using it. So that's been a lot of fun to deal with. There are a total of 10 characters. There are 2 characters per episode, which means that after 5 episodes, everyone has been used. That is one batch, as I'm calling it. There will be 6 in total. Each batch will have a week break in between. The mid-season is a month long, if I'm not mistaken, if I plan that correctly. So essentially, every Sunday, there will be a new episode of San Andreas Law for the remainder of this year. Obviously, like I said, there's some small breaks here and there, but that is planned. So, fine. So if you counted that correctly, if you did the math, 6 batches, 5 episodes each, that's 30 episodes. Yep, that's real math. That's actually correct. That was the plan. And we're sticking to it. So, moving on from San Andreas Law, because that's not the only topic. While it is the biggest topic, it's not the only topic that I'm discussing today. So, moving on to Brighton Law. Currently in its first season, it's been going... Yeah, it's been going, is pretty much what I can say. You know, it's been on and off. It's a fun series to record, don't get me wrong. The problem with it is that in 3.5 hours of recording, I usually get maybe 40 minutes of usable footage. The thing about Brighton Law is there are some bugs. I would showcase some of them, but I feel like that would drag this vlog out way longer than it needs to be. That being said, I'm just going to list a couple. 1, spawning underneath vehicles. 2, vehicles not having engine sounds. I think that one was fixed. The biggest issue, the biggest hurdle that we have had with Brighton Law is that we fail a lot on these patrols. Like a lot. You've seen it if you've seen the series. It's amazing that we pass a single patrol without something happening. And a lot of the times it is not in our control. We will be, flying down the street, code 3, and then out of nowhere, a car will spawn. Or a pedestrian will spawn. Yeah, shit happens. It's great. But despite all the little hiccups, Brighton Law is still a lot of fun to record. It's just that Zach and I, we have been working on our own projects for the past little bit now. He's working on a big thing that will affect San Andreas' life. And I have been working on San Andreas Law and getting that in order. So, Brighton Law, while it's slightly on hold, I do plan to return with more episodes within a month or 2. It just comes down to, planning, scheduling, dealing with our own projects. And then since it is season 1, the plan is still to end after 25 episodes. After that, we'll see. I can't guarantee that the series will return after this one season, just because of how bumpy things have been, what we've been working on, and also other things I'm not actually sure I'm supposed to know about or talk about, so I'm going to shut up about it. Moving on to the next topic here. Travel and transport has been an interesting series. It has featured ATS, American Truck Simulator, ETS 2, Euro Truck Simulator 2, Bus Simulator, I think just Bus Simulator 21, I think. It also literally kicked off a tourist bus simulator as well. But as you've probably noticed, hasn't really been around much. Lately, it has only been featuring spin tires, actually, weirdly enough. I forgot about that game. But that being said, while the series is not yet canceled, it is very much a possibility. Simulator games on the channel, it's been rocky since the very beginning. One of the first two, so there were two main series when I started my channel 10 years ago. There was LCPDFR, and then there was ETS2. ETS2 hasn't been seen on the channel in like, what, 2-3 years? Something like that. Everything like simulator related just never really does well on my channel, I feel. And that's why I have a hard time continuing travel and transport, which has replaced all the worldwide travel, transit, trucking. It replaced those, which replaced the original games. It's a mess. Essentially, I'm not sure if I can keep that series going. I'm not sure if I want to, is what I'm saying here. Spin tires, now that I've remembered its existence, maybe we'll do more of that. It's a fun game. More specifically, SnowRunner is what I'm referring to. There's also that new Expeditions, I think, game. Might feature that. I don't know. I haven't really given it too much thought with, what's on my plate with like work and with San Andreas law. So yeah, I'm definitely still considering the options. Forza Horizon 5 was actually, no, Forza Horizon 4 was originally supposed to be part of Travel and Transport. Forza Horizon 5 ended up getting its own series. So I might take Forza Horizon 5 and put it in Travel and Transport, since technically the limitation doesn't exist for that. Like, technically I could do that, and it would keep Travel and Transport alive and keep Forza Horizon 5 content flowing. Or would it? Because Forza Horizon 5 hasn't been seen since last year on my channel, so I don't know. So yeah, Travel and Transport, very up in the air. We'll see what I can come up with. I don't want to end it necessarily, just because it has been, like simulation on the channel has been a thing for like 10 years, which is how long my channel's been around. But at the same time, my interests have changed dramatically in games. And so, yeah, I'm not sure. I'm weighing my options and kind of just restructuring everything. So we'll see what happens, and I'll let you know. I definitely won't keep quiet about that. So, yeah. Moving on to Rainbow Six Siege. That's a fun one to talk about. Rainbow Six Siege. So that one started back in 2016. That one started right around the time San Andreas Law started, actually. Except that this one was never canceled until January of this year. It was canceled. Now, it ran from 2016 to early 2024. The plan for this longest running series on my channel, and also takes up like, I don't know, 20% of the videos on my channel in total. Not related to that though. The plan was to end the series at the end or near the end of this year. Didn't quite work out that way because Ubisoft decided in some weird turn of events to just get rid of Training Grounds, previously known as Terrorist Hunt, which is entirely what I do or did in Rainbow Six Siege. So now that that's gone, I don't play the game anymore, right? That was the whole reason of me getting the game in the first place. So yeah, that series got killed immediately with that update. However, let us not forget that back in 2021, I started Rainbow Six Specials, which was a smaller series that featured other Rainbow Six Siege content, such as like prop hunt, well, drone hunt technically, as well as, like hide and seek, things like that. Now, while I doubt very much that I will continue that series, I'm leaving it open for now. It is very much up in the air. It's more up in the air than Travel and Transport is, in all honesty. I don't see it continuing, but I'm giving it a possibility. So we'll see. Moving on, we also have Propnight. Propnight was a nice part of my channel. I really did enjoy playing Propnight. However, despite its likability and how much fun it was on the channel, the game developers had a little bit of a problem. They just scammed a lot of customers on a new game and got into a lot of trouble over that and went out of business just like that. So, without warning, Propnight servers went offline and never came back. So, that being said, Propnight is done on my channel, as if that hasn't been obvious from it not being on my channel for the past few months. I did make a custom intro song for that series, and it's a pretty good one, so I plan on reusing it for an upcoming project that I'm not gonna discuss yet. Just know that it's very likely it'll pop back up again. Moving on to other things on the channel, we also have Among Us, which started back in 2020 during, the pandemic. It is a very likable series on the channel, but hasn't really been around much. The thing about Among Us is we have to plan it out like a lot. Like I'm talking like weeks in advance at this point. A lot has changed with the dynamic of Badfellas Media Group. It's not like over or anything. That's not the case. We change out a few people here and there. That's fine. The main thing is like everyone's schedule is, completely different now than it was back when we were doing Among Us videos regularly. Actually, no, that's not really true. The regularly part. There have only been like 3 recording sessions of Among Us. One of them was like 8 hours long. Another one was like 6 hours long. I think the original was 6 hours. All these episodes have come from literally like 2 or 3 recording sessions. It's insane. I would like to continue doing Among Us videos. I have no problem against it. It's just a matter of timing. If our schedules all align for it, and we're able to like properly plan out when to do Among Us, I am more than open for it. It is probably one of the most welcome series on my channel now. It's such a low effort series. The last time I really had a low effort series was Rainbow Six Siege, but that's gone now. It's one of those series where we can just go in, have a blast, record it. That's it. It doesn't take much to actually do it. Just getting there is the hard part. So yeah, I'm definitely not canceling the series. I'm enjoying it. I've had a lot of fun with it. I know we all have. Yeah, it's just a matter of planning. So we will plan. We shall. So yeah, hopefully once the whole San Andreas law mess is cleared up and there's more availability within the group, we can actually go in and do more Among Us. But yeah, with that out of the way, we have a couple more things. So first off, I have featured music on the channel before. Pretty much every single video features music. So shut up, bro. But when it comes to music, not only am I featuring other people's work, but sometimes I more specifically feature other people's work. I've done a couple of music mixes on the channel before. They've done okay. Over time, I've been, learning music production myself, trying to, experiment here and there with like EDM and stuff. I plan to do another mix at some point fairly soon. I just haven't really started one yet, but I have some ideas. And then I've also done things like, drum edits. You hear it all the time. You probably don't even realize it because nobody ever checks the description. But like the Splasher, We All Bleed the Same Sun, that drum and bass edit, that was me. I did that. And I had a blast doing it. And so I haven't stopped doing that. I just haven't really shared any of it. Right now, I am working on a remix of a classic dubstep, very popular song from like 2010. More modernized, giving it a more modern, punchy, killer feel. So yeah, I'm working on that. I'm hoping I can get that released probably in the next couple of months, probably on my YouTube channel, maybe on SoundCloud. I don't know. SoundCloud is so fucking garbage, but it is what it is. But yeah, no. I plan on doing more music related things. I also plan on doing more vlogs because I can. That was literally the only reason I had for it. Yeah, no, I plan on doing more vlogs, especially with travel and transport out for God knows how long. That used to be the thing about travel and transport. That used to be kind of my method of like getting messages across to you guys about, you know, announcing upcoming things like that. Obviously, we've had a huge shift in how I do things on YouTube. So I think vlogs is going to be the more realistic approach from this point forward. So I plan to do a lot more with that. I also plan on doing some other types of videos. I know of at least 2 games that I want to introduce this year. One of them can be introduced probably in the next couple of weeks, maybe? I don't know. I have to experiment with it first, get a feel for it, see how it does. Well, see how I do in it, and then decide from there if it's really video worthy. It probably is. Me sucking at it sounds like a really fun thing for you guys to see. Yeah, that sounds like a really good time for you guys. Not me, but for you guys. There is another game though that I am thinking about. I'm not entirely sure. In both of these cases, they would have their own separate series from everything else on the channel. So yeah, and like I said, you know, Expeditions might be another game I explore and throw into the travel and transport pile. There is one more series I want to do that's not gaming, but we'll see on that one. That one's a very big if. Very big if. Not likely, but possible. So yeah. But yeah, with that out of the way, I think that's really going to do it here. I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog video. Vectro log. See what I did there? Vectro log vlog. Nailed it. 10 out of 10. So fucking smart. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and head off and then start recording some more San Andreas Law because I have the rest of the day to do so. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, obviously, feel free to leave a like, comment down below if you have suggestions or feedback for me. If you want to stay up to date and see the newest content as soon as it's available, you can check out the channel. You can subscribe to it. You can also check out the Discord server at chat.vector.com. It's a good way to keep in touch with me, friends, and fans, and of course, see new content inside and outside of YouTube. So, you know, graphic design, music stuff, memes, things like that. Yeah, with that out of the way, like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed. My name is Ro, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Deuces.